Everybody do this, and I don't know if you are going to do it. I don't know if you want to do it, but I'm doing it because it's handy for me. Once I get them done, once I get these guys done, it's easy. It makes it easier. I think I'm gonna leave this up here because I want to use this. So this is my palette. This is just a cheap paper plate, and I did a little exploration. I did a little exploration last night or the other day. That's beautiful right there. I'm using maroon perline. I don't know where I got that. I don't know why I got that. I probably saw it in a video and I had to have it. And I'm using a cobalt teal,
That's
which,
a great color, maroon darling.
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, I have three colors. I have Naples, I have maroon perline, and I have a cobalt teal. And I just did a few little things, and I wanted to see if I could get a good dark out of it. This up here is Mars yellow. I don't know why I have that either, but it's a little brighter and a little redder than yellow ochre or raw sienna. It looks kind of a fairly decent color from the yellow family. So I'm still going to use Naples just to walk through this one more time. So there's some Naples. Uh, and you guys can try uh, three different colors, or you can start trying to put some two color combinations together. There's that maroon perline, I think is how you pronounce it. And here is some, going to have to really squeeze this out. Oh, there it is. This is cobalt teal. Uh, I love cobalt teal is one of my fun colors. Anyway, so there's something from the blue family, something from the red family, and something from the yellow family. And I'm going to just do my due diligence. And I don't know if you can see that. You can see that. And you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, once again, I'm just going to do this quickly. So I'm painting my yellow. And I don't think it really makes a difference what you're painting. The only reason I'm painting, as I said, the only reason I'm painting that same scene is so I can do apples to apples. Here's that what that maroon perline looks like. And it's pretty cool. It's a beautiful color.
It's a very lovely color.
You've used it before?
Yeah.
Maybe you're the one I got it from. I don't know.
Blame me, okay.
Maybe you're the one that helped me discover that. Anyway, what I try to do over here is to not make it as dark as that, as dark as this, because I want to see some of the color. I want to see exactly what it is. And I want to make sure that I wash my brush out really well each time. Otherwise, I'll get faked out. And I'll come up with a color that I don't know how the hell I got because it's not out of the tube. And so the next time I go to do something and I want that color, I'm not going to be able to get it because I made it up. So that's definitely some blue with yellow in it. So now I've got all three of those. Now I'm going to take, again, my palette, and I'm going to put a little thing of that there. I'm going to dab a little bit of that in there. Try to do the edge, but I want something in the middle. And I'm going to get kind of a fleshy. I'm looking at this, and I think I'm going to get some kind of a flesh tone. Which would make sense. And that can be a little more bias on the yellow side, I guess, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to give me an idea of what I'm going to get. And I'll take the same thing here, and I'll just go here. So I've got a little bit of that maroon, and now I'm going to add a little of the cobalt teal, a little more maroon. And I'm getting a really, really interesting gray, which I thought I would get anyway, because those two colors are pretty much going to neutralize themselves, because they're almost a red-green combination. But that's really a beautiful neutral. And that can be biased either way. And I think because of the granulation in this paint, if you use this paint in a larger area, I think the pigment's going to separate a little bit. At least it did in my little notebook. Sketchbook, I can see a little blue here and a little red there. And now I'm going to mix a little bit of this purples with a little bit of the teal. And see what we get. Gee, how did I know we were going to get some kind of a mint color? It's pretty interesting palette. And let's see, next is, can we get some good darks? I'm sure we're going to get some good darks just by these two. So anyway, so now here's where I said I just took some of this and some of this and some of this, and I put it in the middle and started adding all of these together. And most of it's going to be on the weight of how dark that guy is. It's already getting to be quite a good dark, and the yellow is going to neutralize it. That's just a tad on the warm side, so I'm going to add a little blue. A little more blue. There we go. That's pretty good. Pretty good dark, I'd say. So I think value-wise, this palette will work for a lot of different things, value-wise. So that's going to give me a pretty good clue. I can see color separating down here. These two colors together give me some kind of a separation. And so I'm just going to thin this out. Look at the separation on my palette here. Look at how that these two are separating. I've mixed those thoroughly, but look how they're separating on the palette. Kind of cool. Kind of interesting. Oops, I just spattered everything. See if I can actually paint this without screwing it up. Okay, so there's my tint of this dark, and you know, I have to do this because I'm getting such a beautiful granulation in there. I've got to mix up a bigger batch of this together because I just want to see what happens. It's separating so dramatically. I'm going to make a bigger wash. This is for that other palette. This is where you find that you can do tints of it so you can actually see the color, but I'm also using this as an experiment to see what the granulation does. In fact, I'm just going to add a little water to that and paint another one and see if it happens when you add more water. That might really be an interesting color combination I would never have found unless I'm going through this discovery process. God, I can see that separating on my brush. I don't know if you guys can see that. See if I can. Shine a light on that. More of a light on that. Look at this area right here, and look how these guys are separating. I'll have to take a closer photo of that, but that's pretty cool. And in fact, I'm getting some granulation here. The only place I'm not is in this red. And here's another thing. If I say that's too bias, I just contaminated my Naples yellow. If I say that's too biased compared to what I was trying to get, it's a little bit, this guy's a little bit too red. I want to see what this looks like with more yellow bias. So I'm gonna do that right here. I added a little more yellow when I mixed those two colors together. And now I can go see what that color gives me. Because sometimes the process is not equal when you're mixing. So that's those two colors, and this is those two colors. Kind of interesting. I'm also going to do the same thing to the that yellow and the blue. I'm going to see if I can't make it a little more yellow on the yellow side. I'll just put that here. I don't care where it goes. But this is going to give me a much better range for discovering what that palette really, really looks like. I'm going to do one more of those, and I'm going to add some more blue to it. So,
You know, that looks, the gray looks like a shadow violet.
yeah, it does, doesn't it? Isn't it the way it's the way it's separating?
Yeah, that's what shadow violet looks like.
That's pretty interesting. So we got our own shadow violet, huh? We made
Yep.
it out of cobalt teal and
Maroon.
perylene, maroon perylene. So there's another green. I'm still using the same two colors here and here and here. So that's even a little bluer. I'm still going to see what I can do on a tint. I'm going to try to make a real warm tint. I'm going to add some yellow to my tint in the middle just to see what I can do. Oops, got some of it running into it already. It's okay. I got enough of it. And I'm going to see what I can do with just the dark, that perylene maroon. And I'm going to add a little, looks like I'm going to have to add a lot of this Naples yellow to it. And one last something. Let's dirty that up a little bit.
On the darks on the left,
Yes,
that one. So how did you get that dark?
all three of these.
Oh, okay.
That's how I get my darks in all of these.
All three of the colors mixed together?
Yes, that's
Okay.
how I get my, that's the darkest dark I'm going to have. And that's the reason I said that in one of those colors, you have to have a dark. And I've actually got my darkest dark is that maroon color. That's my darkest dark. And I can see it's dark here. And so I'm going to mix some of that with this cobalt teal. And unbeknownst to me, I'm getting this beautiful granulation. It's even happening on this coated plate. I'm getting granulation even more so, but that is just, that's gorgeous. And so I've got that dark and I mix some of that with that and then some blue with that. And so see how dark that's getting? And I can tell that it's still on the maroon, the red side. So there's a really, I cooled it off and I'm just adding a taste of this Naples. Well, that wasn't a taste, was it? I mean, I added all three colors together, and what that that Naples did is it neutralized those first two colors that I put down, and I could still use a little cool in here, but that's a pretty good dark, and you can also you can always go over it again too. I'm not going to screw up that page, but that's a pretty good neutral that I'm looking at right there. And I can put more than one coat on if I have to, but I'll see when I paint this scene, because I'm going to paint this scene using these three colors. So what did I use? I got to write it down, otherwise I'll forget. I used Naples. And I used maroon. And I used cobalt teal. There we go. That's pretty good. That's a pretty interesting page. Look at all those colors from three colors. Warms, cools, granulating. Pretty cool. So I gotta find my pad. What did I do with my pad? There it is. Cool. Okie doke. You know, James Gurney, that guy I've shown you, I'll show you more of. It's pretty interesting. He says like going through this process is like the first day of school again. Or when you got another box, instead of 12 crayons, you got 24. So you got all these new colors to try. Okay, I'm just going to paint another one of these guys. Like these guys. I'm going to use this new palette and see what I get. Kind of fun. That'll do. And I'm gonna use Mr. Gravity. Prop that up a little bit. By the way, I have another palette here I want to try that I had in the wings. I haven't tried this one yet. I've got my yellow. I've got Mars yellow, which I showed you was kind of sort of this guy. I've got alizarin crimson, and I've got cobalt blue. I haven't tried cobalt yet. I love cobalt for gluing things together. It's a great color for that. And there's my dark. There's my dark. It's like that maroon. There's my dark. And mixed with that, which is darker than the teal a little bit, I ought to be able to get somewhat similar to that palette that I just tried. Oh, by the way, Cheap Joe's had these on sale. You got 6 for $10. Anyway, so I got a bunch of these guys. Was kind of cool. So they're porcelain dishes, and I have something. I got 6 of them. Yay! So there's 3 colors, and here's 3 colors. Anyway, so once in a while they have some good stuff. So let me take a whack at this guy. Find the right brush. Brushes. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's my palette. That's Naples yellow. That's the maroon perylene, and this is the cobalt teal. So again, I'm kind of following my my reference up in the upper left-hand corner, and so I'll make a little wash out of this cobalt teal. Wow, look at that. That's pretty good. I know I'm going to have some of that through here, so I'm just going to put it in now because that's reflecting part of what's going on up there. It's got to be a lot darker, but so while I have this little wash of teal, I'm going to add a little of the maroon to it. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit biased on the blue side. And that's going to, a little bit darker than that. That's going to put in that distant hill back there, that distant mountain. I'm going to take some of the same color. And warm it up a little bit and put a little bit up here and coming on. This is a closer hill, mountain, whatever. And actually start adding a little bit of color to this. So I'm going to take some of the blue and some of the yellow and make a green, some kind of a green out of it. And yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to try to make some orangey, or at least lighter kind of a color out of that. A more yellow kind of color to go along here. It's kind of cool. Start adding a few darks in here, and while that's still wet, populate this along the shoreline. And a little bit of those trees. I'm talking to myself, so I'm gonna make this darker up here. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. Especially around the top of this little structure over here. See if I can get a little more red in that just for fun. Yep. I don't like that effect, and that same effect will be on this. I'm gonna have to make it darker around it. A little bit of that red color on this structure. And I'm gonna mix these two colors, that red and that maroon and the teal together, and just do a little bit along this bank. And I want to make this rough because that's a rocky kind of surface there. Just some texture going on. And while I've got that teal color, I'm going to take a swipe and see if I can't get a little bit just like that, just that little bit of light on the water. I'm going to take some of that dark. There we go. There we go. And maybe a little bit of the side of the brush for a little texture right along that bank. Stands out a little bit too much up there, so we'll kill that. While I've got some of the dark mixed up. I try to keep the dark in the center of my plate, my palette. So then I can go back to it and add a little bit where necessary without having to. There we go. Makes that stand out just a little bit more. Recognizable. That's a nice atmosphere just by not caring about it. I painted that quite a while ago and I'm just letting it go. Color wise, I wouldn't mind just being brave and adding some of this teal color fairly pure up in here. And now I can take and I can try to make it really good dark. So I'm going to take that and mix it together and a tad of that. I'm going to try to make my dark here so I can start putting this area in to see and push that one back, of course. There's this guy, this fairly dominant tree going all the way down. To here. But I've got this nice, I've got a little something happening back here, but I have to be careful along this side because I want this tree to stand out. And I've got some dark happening in here, and I've got some dark coming in from this corner up here. This big limbs and some dark rocks or whatever, and I've got a little something here I see. Not trying to be too careful with this stuff.
Well,
It helps warming that up just a little bit through here. Whoops, that's okay. I'll see if I can't put in that kind of bright tree. That maroon is so bright, and this yellow is dulling it down just a little bit. I'll go back and I'll put some more in that way. This is still kind of wet here, so I've got to be kind of careful. So I use my fancy dagger brush. Wow. I'm going to use my old little thing just to button it up at the end. I'm going to use Dr. Martin's Bleed-Proof White just to click a few sparklies in. I've got some rocks or something going on through here and a little around there. A little negative rocks maybe there. I think that's okay back there. Just to pick something up. That's probably enough, probably more than enough. And what else? Oh, I've got this little kind of thing along the shore here coming out of the sky. Let's see if I can take some of this thicker paint. Just want to brush it up a little. Few weeds, whatever. Something dark up in here to kind of balance this out. I'm gonna move this darker line here. Decide to go more in shadow. Got a few rocks here. Work. And now I have to see what do we have? I'm gonna take the tape off, see what do we got. And I can go fix stuff and I can add stuff, and I'm sure I will. Take the tape off so I can see it. this new palette looks like. How fun. And there we go. Another way to do this thing. That's 4 different ways so far. In fact, I think I'm going to put, while I've got this, I'm going to put a little so right through there. There we go. A little more watery. And let's see. Well, actually, that works pretty doggone. Using this paint pretty much right out of the tube. I think I'll add just a couple of little things in here. Soften that blow a little bit. I don't know. I think it's done enough. It's certainly done enough for a test for me to find out if I like this palette, if I want to continue my journey. I didn't use very much of this cobalt teal, but it's very important for this painting because it's a warm dominant. So that teal was very important for that blue, I think. And I think I've captured the flavor of it, which was all I was trying to do. So let's put this tape back on. Nice clean piece. Something to paint down here. Leave that up for a second. Any questions? Any comments? Anything? No comments, no questions?
Looks good.
Are you still there?
Yep, still there.
It's like you're saying that the teal in there is really important.
Well, I've got a nice little triangle here too
Uh,
of the teal. In fact, I think now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to add just a tad more, just a little spot right here, because that leads my eye. I know that wasn't a very big deal, but I think it was important. And the rest of it can just be what is, kind of is. I think I'm going to maybe define this one tree a little bit more by coming down with some darks on this side of it. There. Just to remind me, if I do decide to paint one of these larger, that yes, I can. I'll remember that little stroke. That's a little bit too dark. For me, it's getting in the way of this tree. It should be behind it. And this little anything. When I do a large painting of this, if I do, I'm going to make sure I want that granulation back there that showed up in our little test using these colors. This granulation pattern, this granulation in here, look how beautiful that is. And I did it here too, and it happened here too. So those two colors together are really, I would write a note to myself. They maroon perylene and cobalt combination. And what nice granulation that has. Very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, so here, and I put, which I didn't do on the others, I picked a little bit of bright blue back up in here just for fun. And I could put the same in here, but I'm going to leave that back there because it makes it recede a little bit more. And I've left plenty of white sparklies in the paper, which are important to me. So leave some white paper, make it sparkle. So if you want to, we can take a 5-minute, 10-minute break, get some coffee, do whatever. And boy, that's big on the other side of the lake there, but that's okay. That little, now that I'm looking at it, that mansion over there, the cabin turned into a mansion. Anyway, so we can look at a couple of videos in a few minutes too. Here's my horizon line. Here's going to be my water and the beach. Over here is going to be my little McMansion, my lake house. And then I've got this guy coming down here. And I've got something in the background. And I talk to myself when I'm drawing these out, so. And I've got this guy in here, yep. Let's bring him on down. And this one next to him. I think that's that will do it. It's more than enough information for all those big shapes. There we go. Kind of cool. What do we got over here? We got a little something. Oh, this guy goes off there. Okay. So let's see what we can do with the 3 colors, seeing as already my water is dirty anyway, so I'm not gonna, I don't care about that. So I have this palette. Do I have to squeeze out any paint, or can I use what is left? Let me see. I'll just add some water and start smearing something around in the middle here. Ooh, that's pretty. Boy, that maroon is intense. Wow. I'm gonna have to add a lot of blue to that guy. Hope I've got enough left. It's getting better now. Yeah, a little bit more, but that's not too bad. It's pretty dark. I'll just try it with this. I don't want to waste any more paint. Hey, that's my palette. There's my 3-color palette. It's pretty funny. So about back to values, huh? I'm really back to values. Is that? Oh, that's way too dark. So let's do that. I'll do that, and I want to. It's because I can. And start putting in some shapes. Oh, that's pretty good value there. Wow. I lucked out. So I'm working back to front. I'm working dark to light. Oh, I'm telling you, you won't believe the granulation I'm getting. It is gorgeous because I mixed all those colors together. I'm going to package this paint.
You're working, you just said you're working dark to light?
I mean, light to dark, sorry.
Okay. Steve, we're listening.
I just said that to see if you were paying attention.
You're paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm just working other parts of the painting while that is settling up there, and that's in my view that's a pretty good way to work because that means I'm looking at the whole painting. And while that is settling, I think I'm going to just go along here and just do that touch thing that we did with from the tree workshop. Vote for me. Boy, this is separating so much on my palette. Wow. I hope this isn't because it's just old paint. I hope it's because this actually works all the time. This is a beautiful go-to palette. Those two colors. Oh, what did I do with it? That maroon is so powerful. Jeez. Taking over everything. I'm trying to keep this to keep these darks going on. I think we're pretty much there with this guy. Still want some dark in there. And this wants to be dark down here, but I don't know if I'm going to get there with this. Well, it's not the best dark combination I've ever had, but it's certainly one of the most interesting from the granulating standpoint. Interesting. And I think it's too late for this, but probably not for this. Okay, here's my palette. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Wow, both these paintings came out of the same palette, huh? Kind of interesting. I learn more by doing this stuff than painting something for real, I guess. I like being in the lab. Anyway, kind of, sort of, kind of, sort of, kind of, sort of. So it was a dark enough palette that I could get I mean, the colors I picked were okay for making a good dark. So that helps. In fact, it looks more powerful. I could take some lessons from this. So I'm going to use this this color that I have, and I'm going to kill some of this guy over here. Just by looking at this, it was way too interesting over here because I wanted to draw your eye across the page to there. So this helps me paint that. Kind of cool. A little different, but so what? Yeah, it kind of looks better. I don't know. It's my 3-color value study. Yeah, why not?